Surface area is what we're looking at in this video. It's split into 4 parts. So first we're going to start off by looking at finding the surface area of a cuboid, and then a triangular prism, and then a trapezoidal prism, and then an L shape like this. So the way my videos work, I'm going to do the example on the left, which is I do. You are then going to press pause and have a go at the example on the right, which is you do. So here we've been asked to find the surface area of the cuboid. Now to find the surface area, you need to find the area of each of the faces on the cuboid. So in total, the cuboid has 6 faces, and I can show you that on an exploded view. So if we look at this shape here, this is a cuboid. If I explode this, you can see it all come apart. So altogether, it has 6 faces, and we need to find the area of each of these 6 faces, okay? So if I go back to the slides, so I'm going to find the area of, let's just label them. So let's just say this direction is the front. So that is going to be this here. So if I find the front, let's just say that is the front. The area of that is going to be 8 times 4. So that's the base times height. And that's going to be 8, 16, 24, 32. So that's 32 centimeters squared. Now the back is also going to be 32. So the back is this bit here, if I highlight that, because they're both the exact same. The front and the back are the same. So that's 2 sides done. I need to do 4 more because there's 4 faces altogether. If I do, let's just say this direction, so that is the left side. That is going to be 4 times 3, which is 12. And that is the same as the right side, which is also going to be 12. So we've now just done this, and we've also done this. That leaves us with just 2 faces. That's this one up here, which is the top, and this here, which is the base. And they're both the same as well. So I'll say for the top is going to be 8 times 3, which is 24. And let's just say the base, again, it's going to be the exact same. So that's just 24. And now all I need to do is total all of these up, and the answer I get is 136 centimeters squared. That is my final answer. So hopefully you've pressed pause and had a quick example on the right. So we will find the front. It doesn't matter what order you do them in, as long as you've covered all faces. So 10 times 5, and the back is also going to be 10 times 5, which is 50. I'll just rub that off. That is also 50, and then we have the left side, which will be 5 times 2, which is 10, and of course the right side is also going to be the same. And then we have the top and base. So the top is going to be 10 times 2, which is 20, and the base is also going to be 20 because those are both the same. So that would be 50. So you'd add all of these together now, and you'd get an answer of 160 centimeters squared. That is the surface area here. So here's some practice questions. Press pause and have a go. Here are the answers. Mark your work. And now moving on, we are looking at a triangular prism. Again, with this, we want to look at all the faces all together. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faces. And again, I can show this on an exploded view. So if I head back over to this, if I explode this shape here, you can see it has 5 faces altogether. So we need to find the area of each one of these 5 faces. Okay, so if I head back to my slides, so we will start off with the base because that's nice and easy. So that's just the bottom. So the base, that is just going to be 6 times 10, which is 60. So that's that done. And just to highlight what I've just done, I've just found the base, which is the bottom piece. Now I'm going to find the back, which is this piece here. So let's just call that in fact, I'll just call it the left side. The left, that's just going to be 2 times 10, which is 20. So that's that done. So let's just highlight that again. So I've just done that. Now I'm going to do the top. So the top is this piece here. So the top is going to be 10 times 6.3, which is 63. And finally, what I'm left with is this side, and they're both the same. So I'll just call it the front and back. So the front is going to be 6 times 2. Now it's a triangle. So the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So this would become 6. And the back is the exact same as the front. So that would also be 6. And now all I need to do is add all of these together because I know the area of every single face. And that is 155. And just as a little tip, when you do finish this, just make sure it matches the number of faces. So altogether, we said this has 5 faces. just make sure you have figured out 5 areas, and we have. So again, hopefully you've pressed pause and had a got the example on the right. So we will start off with the base. Right, at least that's where I'll start off. You don't have to start here. So that's just going to be 2 times 10, which is 20. So that's the bottom base done. And then I'll start off with the left. So that would be this side here. So the left, that is going to be 8 times 10, which is 80. And then you have the front. Well, not the front really. I'd call this the top. 8.2 times 10, which is 82. And then you're just left with the front and the back. So those are both triangles, and they're both exactly the same. So once I know what the front is, I know the back is exactly the same. So that would just be 8 times 2 divided by 2, which is 8. This would also be 8. And if I total that up, that would be 198 centimeters squared. That is the surface area of that shape there. So here's some practice questions. Press pause and have a go. Here are the answers. Mark your work. And now moving on, we are looking at prisms with a trapezium in there. So if I again go back to the exploded view, so here we have that shape, and if I explode this again, you can see this all together has 4, 5, 6 sides to it. So we need to find the area of 6 sides altogether. So if I head back to my slides, so we have 6 areas that we need to find. Now with the trapezium, remember, you will need to use the formula for the area of a trapezium on this side here. So we can just start off with this. So this we'll call the front, this we'll call the back. So if we start off with the front, and we know the back is going to be exactly the same. So that would be the area of a trapezium, which is a half a plus b times height. Okay, so what I've just found is the area of this shape here by adding this and the top and timesing it by 5 and using the half as well. So that would be 0.5 times 8 plus 3 times the height, which is 5. In fact, I should write 5 there. And that becomes 27.5. And we know the back is the exact same. So that's that done. That means we've got 4 faces left now. So if I do the top, that will be 3 times 10, which is 30. If I do the bottom, well, as we say, the base, 8 times 10, which is 80. And now I'm just left with this and this. And I know they're both exactly the same. So I can just do 5.2 times 10. So we can just say it's the left and right. That will be 5.2 times 10, which is 52 here and 52 here. So altogether, we said there's 6 faces and we have 6 areas. So now I'm just going to use my calculator, add all of that up, and that gives me an answer of 269 centimeters squared. Again, hopefully you've pressed pause and had the example on the right. So this here is a trapezium. So we will need to use the area of a trapezium on there. Again, if I call that the front, and then I know the back will be exactly the same. So that would be a half a plus b times the height. Okay, and I know once I calculate that, the other one is exactly the same at the back. So that gives me 116. This is also going to be 116. So if I now go straight to the top, that would be 9 times 15. And if I type that into my calculator, that's 135. And then the base, so the bottom piece, that is going to be 20 times 15. So 20 times 15, that gives me 300. And then finally, I am left with this and this. So if I look at this piece here, I'll just call this the left. And that's just going to be 8 times 15. So left is 8 times 15. And then this piece here, that's going to be, we can just call that the right, I guess. That's just going to be 11.5 times 15. So 8 times 15 is 120. And 11.5 times 15 is 172.5. So if I now add all of this together, I end up with an answer of 959.5 centimeters squared as the surface area here. So here's some practice questions. Press pause and have a go. Here are the answers. Mark your work. And now moving on to the final shape, which is the L shape. So if I go back to my software here, so we can again explode this, and notice this time there's a lot more sides. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides that we need to find the area of. Okay, so that is key to note. That's 8 sides now that we're working with. So if I go back to my slides, so now to find the surface area here, we can start off easy. We can do the base first. So the base is just going to be the bottom. So that's 10 times 12. So that's that done. So what I've just done is this base piece here. Next I can do this piece here. So that will be 12 times, well, what is the height here? Now it is a compound shape, so to find the height here, we're just going to do 8 take away 3. That gives me 5. So that, we can just call this the right one. We can just say right one, because there's going to be 2 lots of them. So on the right side, we're doing 12 times 5. And then we can go up, and that would be top 1. So now I'm looking at this bit here. So I know in length it's 12, and I know in width this way it's going to be 4 minus 10, which is 6. So this is going to be 6 times 12. And then if I go up 1 again, we're now looking at this piece. This is going to be 3 times 12. So I can just call this again. It's from the right. I can call it right 2, which is 3 times 12. And then if I go up 1 again, we have this piece here. So that is just going to be top 2, which is 4 times 12. So then we have the back. So the back is that piece there. That is going to be, so we'll just call that the back. Really, I should be calling it the left. That would be 8 times 12. And that then leaves me with this here. Now, in order to find the area of this shape, we can split it into 2. So we can split it down, or we can split it across. So I'm going to split it across like this. So let me just draw that in. And then I can just add them 2 shapes together. So we're going to call this the front. And we know the front and the back are going to both be the same. So to find the area of the front, that's going to be 4 times 3. So that'll give me the area of this bit here. That's 4 times 3. And the area of this bottom bit is going to be 10 times 5. Plus 10 times 5. And I know whatever answer I get here, the back is going to be exactly the same. So if I now just start typing that into my calculator, you get 120, you get 60, 6 times 12, that's 72, 36, 48, and then 8 times 12 is 96. And then we have 12 plus 50, that's going to be 62 for the front and 62 for the back. So that is all the areas there. And in fact, if I just use my highlighter to make life a little bit easier, so these are all the areas that we've found for every single side. And now I just add all of that together. So I appreciate there's quite a bit going on here because this shape has a lot of sides. So altogether, I get an answer of 556 centimeters squared. Okay, so hopefully you've pressed pause and had a quick example on the right. So again, we can just start off with the base, and the base is just going to be 10 times 16, which is 160. And then we can go to the right one. So right one, because there's 2's on the right, so that will be this one here. That will be 16 times 5. 16 times 5 gives us 80. And then we can go to this one here. So just keep going up this. So that will be 3 times 16. And I can call this top 1. And then if I go up 1 again, we can call this right 2. So that'll be 4 times. And then I should go up 1 again, and that'll be top 2. And that's 7 times 16. And that then becomes 112. And then I've got the back, or I should call it the left really. That's going to be 9 times 16, and it's 9 because I'm going to add the 4 and the 5, and that tells me the full length here. So 9 times 16 becomes 144, and then finally I'm just left with this L shape and this back one. So they're both the same. So if I look at the front, so this, if I split that there, that's just going to be 7 times 4, which is that bit, and this bit here is going to be 10 times 5. So for the front, I have 4 times 7, which is 28, and then I have 10 times 5, which is 50. No, 10 times 5, not 10 times 50. So we have 50 plus 28, and then the back is going to be the exact same as the front, so that is going to be 78. So that is all the areas that you should have found, and now it's just a case of adding all of this together, and that becomes 764 centimeters squared. So here's some practice questions. Press pause and have a go. Here are the answers. Mark your work. Now, if you would like some more practice on this, I've got a full worksheet linked down in the comments below over on my website. And if you found this video useful, I've got loads of other content like this on my channel. Do check it out.